In the gospel reading today, we hear our Lord's final commandment to his disciples, and that is to go out and preach the gospel to every creature, to go into the whole world and to bring the gospel message. We heard in the first reading that those who preach the gospel, those who preach the good tidings, how blessed are they, and how beautiful are the feet of them who bring good tidings. And we have to then look at our own selves, because not all of us are called necessarily to be missionaries to foreign countries, yet every last one of us is called to the missionary zeal, to bring the gospel of the Lord into the world. We do that by the way we live, we do it by the way we speak, but all we know is that our example speaks far louder than our words. If we speak one thing and live another, people will look at us and say, "You're a bunch of hypocrites," and they aren't going to believe because they don't see it being lived. They hear the beauty of the words, they're attracted to that, and then they see our lives, and they say, "But you say this, but you don't live it. You say you believe it, but then you don't put it into practice." And so they walk away. They refuse to come to the Lord because our example actually leads them astray. If we can put those together, however, that is, to live what it is that we speak, the example that we give will be so profound that people will not be able to ignore it. We think even today about St. Francis Xavier. He went to India and he preached to the people there. He didn't know their language. He preached to the people, and he was so successful in what he was doing because they saw the holiness of his life and they heard the words that he spoke, that people in India tell me that what happened is that the Hindu statues started to come to life. And they said about St. Francis Xavier, "There is a demon who has come to India, and if he doesn't get stopped, he's going to convert all the people." Imagine that a statue would be able to come to life and speak. Isn't that exactly what we hear in the book of Revelation? The demons can do these sorts of things. And isn't it humorous that when they are preaching their 330 million false gods, that they would look at somebody who's speaking the truth and say, "There's a demon who is speaking here"? Yeah, a lot of projection that goes on. The demons themselves calling somebody who speaks the truth a demon. And yet that is how terrified they are of the truth, and how terrified they are of people who will bring people to the truth. So for our part, maybe we're not going to be so holy that the statues of false gods are going to come to life. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the hearts of those who perhaps are following false gods will be brought to the truth, and that they will be able to reject anything that is contrary to the truth. We're living in a day where this is not politically correct. Everything is supposedly equal. Not only are we hearing even from Rome that all religions lead to God, and all religions somehow are therefore equal, but we're also being told we're not supposed to evangelize. It would make perfect sense why we can't evangelize, because all religions are equal anyway. And if every religion leads us to God, well, then why would we be saying that, well, there is one truth? Well, Jesus kind of addressed that today. He said, "Everyone who believes and is baptized will be saved, but he who does not believe shall be condemned." And he said, "No one comes to the Father except through me." Not every religion leads you to God. There is only one God, and there is only one means to get there, and that is Jesus Christ. And you and I have that means, and that's what we need to bring into the world. If we're going to be able to evangelize, if we're going to be able to bring Christ to others, then it is precisely that point we must understand. It's Christ we're bringing to others, not ourselves. That's why when people see us being selfish, they will reject the gospel. But if they can see somebody who loves the Lord so much that they truly are serving the Lord, not themselves, that they are truly about seeking the good of others for the sake of the Lord and for the good of the souls of others, that's what's going to bring them to conversion. Because they see the charity. They see the selflessness that we have. Because we actually believe. And therefore we live what we believe. It's exactly what St. Paul speaks about in the first reading. So your feet are the feet of those who bring good tidings. Your feet are the ones that God is going to use to bring the good news to people who either don't have it or have fallen away from it. And right now, that's the majority. So we don't have to go to a foreign land to be able to bring the gospel. All we need to do is go outside, or go to the office, or go to the grocery store, or wherever it is. Again, you don't have to say a word. You just have to live it. You have to be the example, the charity, the kindness, the goodness, the honesty, the uprightness, the patience, the meekness, all the different virtues that we have to be about. They need to be able to see the holiness that is going to come through us, to have that light that is shining through us because we have that light who is Christ. That's something that each and every one of us is called to do, and something that each and every one of us is capable of doing. So no matter where you are, no matter what the circumstances, you have an opportunity to be an evangelist, to be a missionary, to bring Jesus into the world. You will do that more by your actions than by your words, although both are necessary, but both have to be in agreement. That's what people need to see. Not just hear the beauty of the gospel, but to see it being lived by somebody who truly believes.